Hey everybody, this is Justin Juul with Google Web Creators, and this is Creator Spotlight, a new show where we sit and chat with bloggers, journalists, fashion and beauty gurus, superfans, basically anyone making cool content on the open web, just to see how they do their thing, give you guys some inspiration, and see what that blogging life's about. So today we're going to sit and chat with Abby Mills. She is a fashion blogger who runs the blog Clothes and Pizza from her home in the Bay Area. Let's go see what Abby's up to.
I think we did it.
I think we did it, yeah. Okay, cool. Introduce yourself.
Awesome, sweet. My name is Abby. I am a lifestyle blogger, internet person. I have a blog and an Instagram account. I used to do YouTube, but I no longer do that. But I do a lot of video on Instagram. I focus on mixing vintage clothing with contemporary brands that are mission driven, so sustainable, ethical, buy one, give one, and just have kind of like a larger mission to the company.
If you could first just sort of like describe your journey a bit, how you got to be where you are.
So I started my blog almost exactly 4 years ago. It was really important to me to have a blog outside of social media. A lot of people start like microblogs, either like on Facebook or on Instagram or even on YouTube, but they don't have their own web presence. But it was really important for me to have a space on the internet that I owned and had full control over. So I started my website and my social media Instagram account at the same time. And I used to focus a lot on writing blog articles, but I have sort of switched my strategy a little bit, and I do kind of like the social media thing on Instagram as well as the blog thing in tandem. Staying organized is really key. I use like religiously my Google Calendar. And I use that not just for like a content calendar, but also to plan out everything. So like whether it's meetings that I need to dial into, or if it's even just working time and knowing like, okay, I have to get a draft of this done, I have to submit content to the brand, or if I have to shoot something, even if it's just me doing it, like putting it in my calendar and having that space carved out for it. And then I also keep like all of my ongoing collaborations, anybody that I have to invoice, or if I'm waiting on payment for something, I track all of that in Google Sheets. So yeah, staying organized is like super key. There was a time when I was just getting into this where I didn't have any of that, and it was insane. But now I'm just like, I'm pretty diligent about like keeping on top of my calendar, keeping all of my like pitch tracking and contacts, anybody who owes me money, all of that stuff, like very organized.
I think what people will want to know is sort of like what an average day looks like for you.
Mm-hmm. Running your own business is very unglamorous, but I think part of a blogger's job is to kind of like hide all the unglamorous parts and just show like the fun parts. But most of my day is very unglamorous. There's a lot of like admin work where you're responding to emails or like reading through contracts or, troubleshooting some widget on your blog backend that you like can't figure out how to do, and like reading through message boards. I'm not super tech savvy, but I do all of the web stuff on my own. So there are definitely days where I'm like trying to implement some new feature on my blog and I can't sort out how to do it, and I've like completely broken everything and I'm like cursing at my computer and about to throw it out the window. But so it's a combination of that, of like very unglamorous stuff. And then there's also the content creation part, which is really fun, which is most of the stuff that my community sees. So either like creating videos or styling outfits, taking photos for my blog or for Instagram, doing research on brands that I want to showcase. Lately, I've been writing a lot of guides on my blog. So sustainable brands for basics, or size inclusive sustainable brands, for example. So I do a lot of research on that in order to create that content. And also a big part of my day is real-time sharing. So I do a lot of sharing on Instagram stories, for example, kind of like the day-to-day, or kind of sharing what I'm doing throughout the day. So yeah, busy, but really fun. These days there are many different types of content creators, and then especially in like more of the fashion lifestyle space that I'm in. And, different creators serve different needs. Some creators are like super aspirational, for example, like travel or like high fashion. And the way that at least I view kind of like where I fit in is I really try to figure out like a problem that my community has. I do a lot of like open feedback with my community too, of like, what style problem do you have? Like, so I really try to create content that is like in direct answer or reflection to a problem that my community has. So rather than approaching something from like purely creative, where I'm kind of like dreaming up an idea on my own, I really try to ask my community what they're looking for, what brands are they interested in, or for example, I asked my community the other day, would you guys be interested in a slow fashion guide for men's style? Because I mostly have women who follow me, but a lot of those women have male partners, and they might be interested in slow fashion for men. And I was really surprised that people were super into it. I didn't think they were going to be, but that's a good example of like asking them what problem they have and how I can solve that for them.
Yeah, I like the community focus that the avenue you sort of went down there. I noticed on your Instagram feed, I was totally like creeping on your Instagram feed.
Good.
But I noticed that you, instead of just you styling something, you had like 5 other people. And I wondered if did just sort of like getting into this on your own lead you into like a bigger community of people who are doing this online, and maybe just talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so that is that like the whole community building aspect of being a creator is something that I didn't even realize would become such an important part of being a blogger. So I kind of went into creating a blog thinking like, oh, I'm gonna take photos of myself and like write about clothing, and like that's kind of gonna be it. And something that social media has created is more of the conversation, the back and forth conversation between
Sure.
me and the gals who follow me, but also other bloggers and influencers and creators that are like in my niche. So it's like multifaceted, right? It's not just me talking to my community and my community sort of talking back to me, but it's also this other community of bloggers, like thrifters, vintage lovers, other gals who are in like the sustainable and eco space. And I kind of naively didn't know that was going to be a thing. And I think maybe a couple years ago, it wasn't as strong as it is now, but it's definitely a major part of what keeps me going and what keeps me working in this space, because, it's a lot of work, and occasionally it feels like you're just talking into the void. But then when you hear back from people in your community or other bloggers in your niche, it's really exciting because you're connecting over something that you all really love. And that's really special.
Okay, so now I want to shift into this like hot or not thing, since this is sort of fashion themed. The first one's super easy. Blogs.
Hot. I think they're coming back in trend.
Websites.
Hot, again.
When apps make you put the link in the bio.
I think apps should let you have more ways to link your community to your content off the app.
Thin crust pizza.
Not.
Overpriced vintage shops.
Not.
Skinny jeans. And asking for a friend.
Not.
Monetizable web stories that could live on your blog forever.
Hot.
Google Calendar.
Hot, like super hot. You know this. I could talk about Google Calendar like for an hour.
Okay, so this brings me to my main question, which is the real reason I scheduled this interview. I am starting a blog for dads who skate. It's going to be called skateordad.com.
Oh my god, I love it!
And I want to do a really cool about page. So can you give me advice on what I should wear? I got a hat here.
What you should wear? Yes. Oh, it's so good. I mean, honestly, that hat and then the Levi's jacket that you were talking about, maybe throw on some Vans. Like, it'll just be super California, just perfect.
I think I can do it. Maybe I'll do some shade tipping too. Perfect. So nice chatting with you.
Okay, bye, Justin.
Bye, Abby. Have a good one.